Welcome to EthanLive podcast. Today is Friday, August the 29th. It
Yep.
is, according to Hoyle Day. I don't know what that is. Change color. Change. I can't read. College Colors Day, not
Oh,
Change Colors Day.
okay.
Uh, Individual Rights Day, National Sports Day,
Oh, that's a good one.
More Herbs, Less Salt Day.
Oh, okay. I
Uh,
don't eat a lot of salt. Nah,
uh, yeah, I don't either. I never add salt to anything.
I never do either.
Yeah.
No, saltiest thing
Um,
I eat are French fries.
International Day Against Nuclear Tests.
Okay. Huh.
So you got that. Let me put this link real quick into the comments if I
Oh, yeah.
can, if I know how to do that. Let's see. Comment.
Today is Friday. Oh, let me put this.
Wow, that
Well, that sounds good.
that's weird.
Yeah, that was strange.
All right, there's the link. Okay, so welcome to everybody. And wow, that's a long link, but it's there. Thanks for joining us. We were just going to give a few updates on some court cases and a little bit of information. We've already got Sue Ann Robinson, who'd like us to cover the 1 year anniversary of the Mercer County case in August 24 that's still being dragged along. That was the original Mercer County 3, I think we called them.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
since then there's another Mercer County 3 or Mercer County 4 or something.
Yeah.
But this particular case was Karen Aubrey, who was the former Mercer County Humane Society president, maybe board president. She had a bunch of animals at her house that were in deplorable conditions.
Right.
Her daughter and what appeared to be her daughter's boyfriend were charged. They were charged with harsher sentences. She was charged with a less sentence.
Right.
And there's a lot of small town scuttlebutt about why that happened.
Yeah, we kind of find that out with small towns,
There
don't we?
are some cases just continue to drag on.
Yeah.
And we even talked about previously, pay attention to the ones that drag on.
Right.
And that try to disappear.
Yeah.
Because there's something else going on.
Right, right. And we've got several. I mean, some of them I look back in our, in my book, and it's like these have been going on. Well, they've been going on over a year, like she said. So, they continue to drag on. More
We
court
got
dates.
that Jacob Brown case in was that Trimble or Henry County?
Yeah.
That is, I mean, that's been dragging on for a year, and it's not even coming back up till 2026.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true. Forgot about. You almost forget. Well, that's what they hope you do. They hope you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's so far out. We don't even have him on our sheet because it's so far out. So
no. But I need to put him on. We need that 20-year and out calendar again.
Oh. I did get a 20-year calendar at the Kentucky Prosecutors Conference, and I kind of laughed when I got it because I thought I can't even think of 20 years from now, much less to think what I would do with a 20-year calendar.
Well, I told Jeff there was no point to me even picking up one of those.
No, stop it.
But it may come in handy with some of these court cases.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Maybe I should have picked up one, left it to somebody to follow up. Goodness.
That's Ethan telling me I need to scoot over on the couch.
Oh, he needs more room. Well,
let's see. I guess we should. What do you want to do first, Amelia Gamez or Rock Castle?
It's like they're a heavy burden.
You want to flip a coin?
Yeah, right.
Let's start with Amelia Gamez.
Yeah,
was a case in Jefferson County that she abandoned a dog in
her apartment.
Found by the maintenance guy in some pretty bad shape. Had lost a lot of weight because he hadn't had anything to eat, drink in a while.
Yeah, I think they were saying yesterday over what wasn't it like they'd gone at least 20 something pounds. It would drop.
Yeah, 22 pounds, I think it was.
Yeah.
So it kind of it actually kind of went through kind of quick.
Yes, it did. That was
So
one of them that moved along. I think because she decided she was going to plead guilty, and there was a
yeah,
nice.
I think you're right. So it went from district court up to circuit court,
Right.
and we show up at circuit court yesterday, and our good friend Tara Bassett was there. She has an interest in all cases, a particular interest in this case because this person was uh, loosely associated with their 502 group, but not in no official way.
Right. Right.
And so she wanted to make sure that that link was not there, but also to make sure that this case was covered. So she
Yes.
was streaming live from the courtroom. We had a prosecutor that was operating on a limited license. Has to be under the supervision of folks.
Yeah.
Um,
Brand new.
which I'm all of attorneys I'm sure have to go through that or
Right.
whatever. But it was just frustrating in this particular case. There was a plea agreement that was reached. There were two folks that were also there
Uh-huh.
with Tara as part of her team, and I think all three of them had filed a
Impact.
victim impact statement.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And so it seems that the way that works is you have to file that victim impact statement give that to the prosecutors. They file it to the court. It's got to be approved by the judge, so they sort of know what's being read.
Exactly.
That was given to the prosecutors and not turned into the court, and so was not part of the file.
Exactly.
In
Turned in,
fact,
they said, what did Tara say? It was turned in, district court had it, but it somehow didn't make its way from district court to circuit court, which is
some way,
yeah, right.
does like. So
So
those are the little things when people hear us say we're frustrated with different cases. Those are the things that you are frustrated. You
yeah,
follow their rules, turn it in where it's supposed to be turned in, and it's not there. So as they're reading off, again, this is why you become frustrated when you go to the court. The young prosecutor was reading off the plea agreement. He read one line, and it was obvious the judge had the agreement in front of her, and he kind
right.
of stopped there, and she was like, "Isn't there something else with that?" And he
Yeah.
said, "Yes, Judge." The defendant's attorney had to hand him the piece of paper,
Uh-huh.
and he stood up to attempt to read it.
Couldn't.
And so there were a few other things involved in it, and we'll go over those in a minute. But eventually, so he sits down. He asks her, "Do you agree to all that?" She says yes. He says the judge says, "Is there anything else?" And the prosecutor says, "Oh yes, I'm sorry. I just got an email from, I'm assuming his supervisor,
Yeah.
that said there are some people here that might want to talk."
Right.
And the defense attorney, obviously, because it's not part of the file, says, "I don't think that's relevant in this right
Yeah.
now."
Yeah.
You know, had they been turned in like they should have, he would have had an opportunity to object to them.
Right.
But they weren't
Exactly.
turned in, so he had every right to say, this is not right." And so
Uh-huh.
that's what the judge basically said. Like, no one's going to be able to speak because none of this stuff was given to us ahead of time.
Exactly.
So she pled guilty to 5 years of diversion.
Yes. Well, two.
Where
Yeah.
So as part of diversion, so she pled guilty to a felony. So her
Yeah.
voting
With
rights are taken over.
2 years of their sentence, right? And then, but they gave her.
If she violates the diversion, she'll get 2 years of prison time.
Yeah.
And the
Exactly.
diversion consists of she can't own a firearm,
Yeah.
no drugs or alcohol. And in other cases in the state, it's been you can't be around any animals.
Uh-huh.
Even in Trumbull County, Mr. Bagwell, he was going to live with his in-laws or girlfriend's parents.
Exactly.
And we had Heather at ACO who
Yeah.
stood up in court and said, "Wait a
Yeah.
minute, whoa,
Uh-huh.
wait a minute. Those in-laws have dogs." And the judge
Uh-huh.
said to him, "You have to find another place to live."
Mm-hmm. Right.
This was, she could not obtain any new dogs for herself, during that probationary period, but she can live with her mom who has dogs.
Right.
That was, in my opinion, was a mistake on the prosecution side. They should have made sure that she had a location that she was living in that did not have any dogs in it.
Right.
And then with the prosecution presenting that, then she would have a right to say, okay, I still want to plead guilty, or I want to take it further.
Exactly. But you know what? It shines a light on the need again to have somebody. I mean, like we said about Heather in that courtroom, who is the animal control officer. She was able to get up and be the advocate for that animal. And again, you know, the impact statements couldn't be read, so there was nobody to be there to advocate, as we keep saying, for, you know, the animals. So
this would have been a perfect opportunity. And had this one continued to drag on, you know, we would have attempted to do something with it. This would have been a perfect opportunity for this case to have a court-appointed animal advocate that could sit there with the prosecution team, especially if you've got a young prosecutor, especially if you've got this law that is a year old, that has not been prosecuted. This is the example of we had a precedent set,
right,
but the prosecutor didn't know.
No.
That's where someone needs to bring it up to him. So she pled guilty to those things. She's got 5 years that she has to follow through with that. If she doesn't, then it gets reported back, and there is a good chance she would get 2 years. So those things sort of question me. Liz has a question, but I mean, Liz could click the link and you could just come right on and ask the question.
Yeah, come on. Yes.
But we can answer the question. So that got us to thinking as we were standing out in the hallway. I had some questions, came up with some questions for the judge, waited a few minutes for no cases to be in front of her, and came back in and asked her if I could ask a few questions. And she, in her
judicial capacity,
position, said, I can't answer any questions specifically about this case without both parties present.
Right.
Obviously correct. And so I just said, can I ask a general question?
You just slip them on in there, Jeff.
Yes, so you get in where you fit in.
That's right.
So I ask if that special circumstance of not being around any animals, living in a home with animals, needed to come from the prosecution side in the offer. And basically that answer was yes. And then it was, because she pled guilty to an animal charge, will she go on the LMAS, no adoption list, basically? And she was not sure of that.
No, she couldn't.
Which really doesn't surprise you, because she's got a ton of questions. She's got a ton of cases that come in front of her. She doesn't have a lot of animal cases, but that would have been one that, as the prosecution in Jefferson County, should have been part of the agreement.
Yes.
Now, she did agree to random checks from LMAS to make sure she herself had not acquired any new dogs.
Yeah, but doesn't mean she's not living with some dogs. She can't acquire.
But I mean, okay, it's just me and you talking, Debbie. Let's be honest. No one's watching. No one's, just me.
No.
If she gets another dog and it's in her mom's house, they're just going to say it's her mom's dog.
Her mom's dog. Sure, they are. They're not going to designate which dogs belong to whom. No.
Right. So anyway, you walk away
very frustrated.
Frustrated, yes.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, it's not something that, Debbie, as you and I go around the state, it's not something we haven't seen before. So it didn't surprise me in any stretch, but it is frustrating.
It is. And so much of this one, again, falls on the inexperience of the prosecutor. And obviously there wasn't enough correspondence between the main prosecutor and this one, or we would have at least had the impact statements. So
yes, and again, perfect example of this case has come up before in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Let's and if you're not looking, or you don't if you're not looking, or you don't know, you don't know. So, but if you've got someone there that is following these cases and can tell you, hey, there's a case very similar to this, that happened right down the road in Trimble County.
Uh-huh. I
So,
guess I've watched too many TV shows, I guess, but you expect the prosecution to come in knowing the law that they're prosecuting and and what all of the any ways it can be applied, any ways it can be, adjudicated, but he was not prepared.
and what we learned very early on was that the judge doesn't know that information, doesn't
No,
have all of
no,
that information, doesn't have the pictures, doesn't have
no,
victim impact, doesn't have all that stuff. They
no,
rely on the prosecutors to
to get
work it out and to figure it out with the defendants. And then when something is presented to the judge looks at it and just says, okay, is this legal?
uh-huh,
Can you really do this? And does everybody agree? Okay, let's move forward. And that's
right.
when you can have victim impact statements and
Mm,
pictures and show evidence to show the impact that the destruction this person had on this animal. And then
exactly.
that's where it could influence the judge for sentencing.
Uh-huh. Right, right. Otherwise, yesterday was just snap your finger, we're finished, we're out of the courtroom. So,
Out of the court. So, all right. Let's answer a couple questions before they fly by here.
okay,
Liz
sure.
says, "Are shelters regulated or inspected?" Um, yes and no.
Good question.
Some shelters are private. For example, Kentucky Humane Society. Some are government run. LMAS, Rock Castle. Probably. Let's be honest. Probably most of them are government run.
Government.
Um, and so, are they inspected and regulated? Some of the practices are to make sure that you have certain licenses in place. A euthanasia license, DEA license to order drugs. But there's not, I do not believe that there's a regulation to here's the proper way to clean a kennel and get rid of parvo.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that things like that are regulated.
Not that specific, huh?
Yeah, I think that is really up to the shelters to sort of figure out. And so even like the Kentucky Veterinary Association, there's no law-abiding, wielding power that they have to shut a shelter down or to do something. Now, if someone's doing something strange with like euthanasia records or the drugs that they're doing, I would think there would be a chance that that person may lose a license, that kind of thing. So that answers that question. And the other question Dana has, why has the state not hired me?
Yeah.
I don't. Well, first of all, I don't know what they would hire me for. Now,
What?
keep this. This is what we figured out in child cases, child abuse, child neglect. There is a court-appointed special advocate for children.
For a child.
Those people go through a week or two of training, and they're paid through the state. Those are volunteers that are paid through the state. I would like to see court-appointed animal advocates, and they don't need to be paid through the state. That first of all, in order to be paid through the state, it would probably need to go through the legislature. And let's be honest, if it involves money, you can forget it.
That won't happen.
I'll just volunteer wise. Let's just put someone on there that can advocate for the animal, because in a lot of cases, it's the owner's animal, and you're relying on prosecution to follow a set of laws or procedures. And there's nobody right there advocating for the animal. Hey, don't lower these charges so they'll plead guilty to this. Charge this person with this here because they violated this felony torture law. Charge them with that. So we don't need to be hired. That's let's throw that way down the road. But we do need some advocates, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And we keep talking about that every place we go. Jeff keeps checking in, talking to people, seeing what he can do. So,
and we're going to start filing some motions.
Yes.
Around the state and see what hits and see where we can help out.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really probably the next step or the next evolution, because even at our prosecutors conference in Lexington, I mean, what did we hear many times was, I didn't know that, or I didn't know this about the law, or it's called a torture law, and this animal didn't suffer any torture. Well,
Right.
the animal was shot and died
Right.
immediately. I can't think of any more torture than that. That's the extreme. Like,
Yeah.
so there are a lot of people that maybe don't read it and understand sentence by sentence. And so that's where a court-appointed animal advocate could step in and help out.
Definitely. No, I said nobody knows that law better than you do, Jeff. And that was quite obvious talking to a lot. I mean, there are people, I will say, you know, like McCracken County, they're getting so much more involved and know the law and they're using it. But there are counties that are not.
Yeah,
Sadly.
well, let's go to McCracken County next. We're going to get the folks that are asking about Rockcastle. We're going to get to that, but you mentioned McCracken. Let's go to that. So we went to David Howery.
Yes.
Well, that
Again.
was earlier this week. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Tuesday.
Whew.
Tuesday.
The days fly by.
They
We
do.
go. So we went.
That's 7 hours. 7 hours in the car just flew by.
So we go to McCracken for David Howery, and he was brought into court, and his attorney said they were offered a deal the day before. They got it about 4:15 in the afternoon. She didn't have time to sit down with David and go over it. But we wanted to, of course, we're not going to leave till we get all the information. We want to know what the deal is, like what's happening. So we were to meet with the person representing from the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, and again, while they're not able to tell us what the deal is, we were able to find out that she gave us some really good information that in Kentucky, if you're charged with multiple felonies, you can stack up to 4 of those felonies on top of one another.
19. He has 19.
And he's got 19, but you can only stack 4. So he's actually facing 20 years in prison.
Yes, because 5 is the max right now on Ethan's law.
On a Class D, 5 is the max. So he's facing 20 years in prison and has other charges. I think there's some other, probably a few kind of federal animal charges, maybe, but some other federal charges that maybe don't even have anything to do with animals.
He's a bad dude. Let's just.
He's not a good dude. He's hurt animals for vast majority of his life. Yeah.
Long history that would have continued if it wasn't for Ethan's law, because he was just being charged with hundreds and hundreds of misdemeanors.
Yeah, and without Ethan's law, he would have been charged with more misdemeanors.
Exactly.
And look what had happened in the past. Nothing really.
Exactly. So I mean, this guy is going to finally be brought to justice because of Ethan's law.
So he will spend. I feel confident in saying he will spend a lot of time in jail. Now, he will probably, the impression that I got, again, because they don't want to give us information that's not until it's out there, was that they were probably, I got the impression they were probably asking for the higher end of that 20 years.
Yeah.
There's a good chance he'll turn that down and take his chances with a trial, with a jury, thinking maybe I'll get convicted by the jury trial, but maybe it won't be this many years.
Exactly.
So his next appearance is September 30th.
Which will probably just not a lot will happen, and maybe we'll find out if it's going to jury trial. So
either one of those won't surprise me. If he pleads to 10 years and just says I'll take 10 years in prison, that wouldn't surprise me. And if he turns it down and says I just want a jury trial, that wouldn't surprise me either.
No.
He's not a good dude. We ran into and some people may not agree with this, but it's probably more the way that I kind of lean. We ran into a retired judge at the Kentucky Prosecutors Conference. And I had a really nice conversation with him about Ethan's law and about prosecuting people and putting them in jail for these sort of violent crimes against either animals or people that are very vulnerable.
Yes.
And he said in his experience, the benefit is you get those people off the street for that period of time that they're in jail. From what he has seen, those people aren't going to change. They're adults. They're just bad people, and they're going to do bad things.
Right. Right.
And so in our case, if we can get some of these people off the street for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, in David Howery's case, hopefully many more years than that, it's just that many less
Benefiting that.
animals that he's going to
Yeah.
be able to hurt in the
Yeah.
long run.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Uh,
he, at least in David Howery's case, I will say they set the bail high enough, the bond, that he has been in jail the whole time and has stayed in jail. So
yes, yeah, and again, like you said earlier, shout out to McCracken County who has stepped
definitely.
up and has really.
And there's a couple of new people that have been charged now in McCracken County.
Yes.
And I
But
feel
in McCracken County, from everyone to the security as you walk in,
exactly,
to the bailiffs who are wonderful, to the Commonwealth attorneys and the Commonwealth
the
attorneys assistants
detective,
we've met, the
yeah,
detectives are all
on top of it,
and
yeah,
the sheriff. We even met the sheriff that
yes,
day that we were
yeah,
there.
yeah.
They are all
Ethan's
very
law very well. Mm-hmm.
they're all very supportive and want to prosecute the best we can. And yes, there's another couple in McCracken County that left a dog in the car and
Yeah.
somewhere around 4th of July and went out of town and just left a dog in the car
And then
overnight.
let it out of the car and it started seizing on the concrete sidewalk and they did nothing. Yeah.
That's and I guess she's still in prison. They let him out because he's got some medical issues. He's 84. She's 51.
Mm-hmm.
And they're made for one another. That's about all I'll say about that.
Yeah. That was saying it nicely, Jeff. I don't think I said it that nicely the other day.
All right.
And they're coming back into court September the 18th. So.
Yes, and they are. Where are they at on here? What are their names again?
Jimmy Reynolds and Tammy Richmond.
Reynolds and Richmond. Yep, there they are, right there.
Yeah, yeah, and they're coming back on the same day together.
That's exactly where they need to be. All right, so moving on to Rockcastle County. I'll give some folks an update about what I know about Rockcastle County, but I want to start with this. I saw there's a ton of stuff going on online on social media about Rockcastle County, videos, pictures, evidence of animal abuse, alleged animal abuse.
Right.
And then I also saw a few things online when we decided we were going to go to Rockcastle County. I saw a few things that popped up online that said when the judge executive in Rockcastle is a gentleman named Hal Holbrook.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of things popped up online and said Ethan Almighty scheduled a meeting with Hal Holbrook and he canceled it when he knew Ethan Almighty was in town. I do want to just clarify. What was our day we went there? Monday, Rockcastle County?
Yeah.
Monday morning, I got some information about the shelter being closed. Probably and got sent some of the same videos of the gates being locked and sheriff's deputies there, KSP there. So I called Hal Holbrook's office, asked to speak with him. He was not in the office, and they said he was meeting with the Kentucky State Police. We changed plans. I sent a message to you and I said, hey, let's take a trip to Rockcastle. We were headed somewhere else that day.
Yeah,
to Warren County down in Bowling Green
for the Damien Temple. Yeah.
So we flipped and drove to Rockcastle County. So a couple of things online about he canceled this meeting. When we walked into the judge's executive office, Hal Holbrook, he had no idea we were coming.
No.
I didn't tell them I was coming. I did not have a meeting scheduled with him. No. He did not cancel any meeting that we had with him. In fact, when we got there, they said he was still not there. He was still meeting with the Kentucky State Police.
Right. And it's a relatively open office. I mean, you could see it wasn't like he was sitting back.
Matter of fact, we had a nice conversation with somebody in Hal Holbrook's office.
Exactly.
He wasn't there.
No,
he didn't cancel anything with us. He didn't know we were coming. He was dealing with the Kentucky State Police and this investigation that they had started into Rockcastle County. I will say this: I know that they were scheduled to have a meeting with some folks yesterday, Kentucky State Police, and it was canceled. And they decided to meet next week.
Okay.
I
Mm,
there's so many things going on in Rockcastle County,
right.
and there are so many people involved. I personally, I think there needs to be, first of all, you let the Kentucky State Police do their investigation.
Yeah, that's got to happen first. Yeah.
You have to let them finish that and give you some results or some ideas or what they think is going on. Then, if there are still allegations of a lot of different things going on there, those charges have to be taken to the county attorney in that county.
Right.
And
They have to be charged.
there are a ton of people that want to help and want to be involved, but it is going to take the folks from Rockcastle County. Like, they have to lead the charge.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my opinion. You want changes in the Rockcastle County Animal Shelter, the folks from Rockcastle County have to lead the charge.
Yeah.
There are a couple of people, one person in particular, and I didn't ask her permission, so I won't say her name. She's out there. People will find her. You'll see her stuff out there. She's got all the evidence. She has. I will say this: she is very passionate, and she has walked the walk. She's not talking the talk. There's a lot of people out there that are talking the talk. She has been in the shelter day after day after day, volunteering, trying to get dogs out. She has done the hard work.
Right.
That hard work needs to get to, dependent upon KSP. Maybe KSP does something.
Maybe.
But those things need to go to an ACO officer, a sheriff's deputy, who can make the determination. There are some charges that need to be filed. Let's take this to the county attorney.
Exactly. Unfortunately, we have to deal with the legal system.
There's a couple of comments. I know Val made a comment here. The vet board. The vet board has no jurisdiction. They have no legal power. They can't do anything with that animal shelter. The best the vet board could do, and I'm not even sure they could do this, is suspend or revoke like a euthanasia license or a DEA license. I'm not even sure they could do that. But yes, she is very correct here when she says the residents of Rockcastle County need to vote differently in 2026.
Definitely.
This Rockcastle County, to give people a little bit of background, and I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably already know, Rockcastle County Animal Shelter has, what I can tell and been told, one employee. One employee, and that person reports to the judge executive. If the judge executive, and let's talk in general terms here, we're not specifically Hal Holbrook, but if there's a problem and the judge executive isn't willing to make the tough decision, you got to vote that dude out.
Exactly.
There's an election coming up in 2026. Vote that dude out. Does that help the animals between now and then? No, but all you can do is continue to go in and see what people can pull out, rescues and different things. Now, there's also an issue of whether they're allowing rescues and things to come in and pull animals. The issue one of the big issues that concerns me and should concern everybody is the high number of euthanasia that is coming out of that county.
Exactly.
To bring in over 1,200 animals and you have a live release of 200 animals, like, that's not good. And if there's a report out there that allegedly, again, that is, what is it, Jackson County is paying Rockcastle County $25 per animal to euthanize those animals, but they won't pay for care. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So KSP needs to do their investigation. Let's get that finished, and then there are some steps you can take from that. But it has to be, you have to take those facts and you have to take that to the people that can do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, it has to, like we said, it has to go through a legal system at some point. There have to be charges brought. So, and you cannot do that unless you go to the Commonwealth Attorney if the Kentucky police don't
Well,
find it.
and an excuse that has been given for a while they don't let rescues come in is because the rescues pull
The
they
little
pull
dog.
the dogs that they think are most adoptable.
Exactly. Yeah.
And to that I say, who
Okay, good.
cares?
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Like, if you got 10 dogs and a rescue comes in and says, I want to pull those 5 dogs because I think they're the most adoptable. If you were going to euthanize them anyway,
Exactly.
doesn't that give those 5 dogs a chance somewhere?
Yes, it does. It does.
And
As long as
so when I get worked up and frustrated about it, it's this euthanasia number that I see. That there's so many animals going in there and they're not coming out.
Yeah.
Something's got to be done with it. And heads up to and one of our commenters, since it was put in the comments, the person that's put in that hard work is Haley.
Mm-hmm.
Haley's done a great job. They also say it's her birthday today. If that is true, happy birthday, Haley.
Happy birthday.
She has put in the work. Like,
Uh-huh.
folks that are in this county or this state or whatever that are, it's great that you're doing this, but she's gone in, she's put in the work, she has volunteered there. She has been in that shelter. But at the same time, sometimes the system works how the system works.
Yeah.
And you hate to say that, but that sometimes the system works the way the system works. And sometimes the best thing we can do is vote.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You continue as a rescue and as a foster and as whoever to contact them and do your best to pull every animal that you can possibly pull out of that shelter, pull them out of there. Because regardless of what they think of the conditions there, the numbers show that there are animals that don't get out, that the vast majority of animals don't get out of there.
Yeah.
And so we've got to figure that out.
Got to get to the bottom of that. But again, have to wait and see what the Kentucky State Police do first and then move forward from there. So
I will say all the stuff that people are seeing, hearing, following, watching online, all hard work done by Haley. Every bit of it. She has done the hard work. She's taken the videos, the pictures. She's the one that called the state police. She's the one that's got all these people involved because she cares about this. There needs to be more of those Rockcastle County people standing up and saying, "Hey, this is not acceptable. If you're going to euthanize all these animals, let's let them go somewhere else."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on to, and again, well, you get frustrated because who is you got one person working at the shelter.
I know
they can't do everything.
No, there's no way that shelter can be run efficiently, no matter what, with one person. So, I mean, and something for the people in Rockcastle County to talk to somebody about. Go to the meetings. I don't know what kind of meetings they have at at the judge executive level. Go in there and complain that there's only one person. One person cannot do it all.
And it's a little bit, like, when we were trying our best to get Ethan's Law passed, we wanted everyone who could to call, email, and let people know. But we were very naive to think that if it wasn't someone, number one, from Kentucky, or number one, from the county that they were trying to get a message to, that it made a big difference. Like the folks from Rockcastle need to step up to Mr. Holbrook or to a county council or city council or whatever they got there to say, like, if you don't fix this, We're going to vote all you people out.
People out. Right.
But you have to. But you also have to have someone that is willing to step up and run.
Yeah.
You
True.
know, some information I got was, well, the person that ran against Mr. Holbrook might not be good either.
Might have been a better choice. Oh,
So
okay.
so you got
Mm.
it.
Yeah.
This situation didn't come overnight, and it's not
And
going to be fixed overnight.
no, no, no. And like we were talking about, Jeff, so many of the things that are going on, there's a fine line, unfortunately, whether it's a criminal offense or it's just a horrible thing they're doing. I hate to say it like that, but
Right.
when-
Well, and here's a perfect example, and I'm glad Sue Ann Robinson brought this up, because I believe I even mentioned it in a comment somewhere. People said, reach out to Josh Bray, the
mm,
representative from Rockcastle County, and let him know. Well, I mean, no offense to Josh Bray, he voted no against Ethan's law. He was one of 9 people in the House that voted no against Ethan's law. Do you think he's going to step up and do anything?
no,
No.
no, he's not. No, no.
It's going to take. You can. I'm trying not to be pessimistic about it. I want to be very optimistic about it.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
can step up and do your best to try to get some folks out of there, which would be, in this case, the person that's running that shelter.
exactly.
Do we have any confidence that the person they would put in there would be any better?
Mm.
Until you have someone that is in charge of the shelter that really cares.
Care. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My advice, and I've never met this Hal Holbrook person. We tried to speak with him, but he was busy with other things.
Yeah.
Maybe this Hal Holbrook person surprises everyone and steps up and does something.
Yeah.
But I mean, time will tell.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's a lot of stuff going on, but it's not, like you said, it didn't happen overnight. It won't get fixed overnight. So
No, it will definitely not.
that,
Let's move on. We're probably a little bit. We work with shelter provided education. Yeah, that's. Let's see. Is there anything else we need to update on? We probably went a little bit longer than I even thought we were going to do, but I think it was important stuff to get out. We've
yeah,
got a Kenneth Wingard next week.
yeah, we've got
You got
stuff.
Dominic
Yeah.
Kennel next week in Fayette
And
County,
then Mercer County.
Boyle County, Fayette County,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're all
Mercer County. Back to those Mercer County 3. One of them comes up against
yeah,
next
yeah.
week.
Well, 2 of them are up, but the one
2 of
hasn't.
them, yeah.
But the one hasn't been charged with any felonies. So, unfortunately, I don't think he even has any animal charges anymore. So,
Yeah, last time we were down there, he was in a rehabilitation program
exactly.
and was still being charged with.
But I think I'm pretty sure I called and talked to the county clerk there, and they said he was not indicted on any animal charges.
Yeah, these people. I mean,
Yeah,
these people.
So it's down to the Gabrielle Fulmer, who does have what I think she's got several charges, but just one is a torture charge.
I do. Sorry, I had to laugh because I glanced down at the comment, and it's a great comment from Diana Murphy. As I'm sitting here being very frustrated, she says, "The 5 finalists of the Hero Dog Awards." So yes, we can end on a good note and say,
there you go,
and say, the Hero Dog Awards are coming up. People, what happened with Georgetown, the guy who shot the cat? Val's asking that question. That guy was not indicted by the. There was body cam footage of him admitting to doing it. He was not indicted by the grand jury.
Exactly.
So again, I hate to say this. When people will get frustrated and think I'm being pessimistic when I say the people of Rockcastle County have to be the people to stand up to make that decision. The people in Scott County
Yes.
for that case
Uh-huh.
saw body cam footage that this guy admitted to shooting the neighbor's cat, and they chose not to indict him.
Indicting. Yeah,
So there's
exactly.
nothing, if that's the way the people of Scott County want to move forward with things, there's nothing anyone else can do about it.
No.
All we wanted to do was get this law passed, and part of the process, this judicial process, is put it in front of a grand jury and let the
Mhm.
people in that area decide,
What
is
is
this,
acceptable
yeah,
and what,
is this a terrible thing? Is this you killing this animal? Is that
uh,
something we're okay with?
and obviously
And in
that
that
one,
case, Scott County said they were.
yes, which is very discouraging and on so many levels. But again, that's all we can do is put it out there and put it in front of the grand jury. So,
Put it in front of the grand jury. So,
yeah. And we've got a lot of grand juries coming up, lots of them. So a lot of our
and
cases.
that's not to say that the rest won't, and that's not to
Uh-huh.
say that Scott County in the future won't.
Exactly.
For
Yeah.
whatever reason, in that case, that was a disappointment.
It was very disappointing. So,
Very disappointed.
yeah.
People need to look into. Well, since I don't know, I'll leave that comment there. Elliott County, someone. And it's funny that someone just mentioned that particular person to us the other day, and I'll leave it sit there. Uh, and Haley jumped on to say, "Thank you for speaking up and standing for the cruelty with me." Haley, you are like
Yeah.
you're talking the talk and walking the walk. Like that's
Yeah.
everything that's going on in Rockcastle County. Everything that's being brought to light is because of your work, your hard work, and your dedication to it. And all we can try to do is rally some more folks
From that county
behind from
support her.
Rockcastle County, rally some more folks behind that, and figure out the
Yeah.
best way to get that situation corrected.
Yeah.
All right, so Hero Dog Awards. There are
Yeah.
we have I've got some information on one or two other folks that we have not been able to have a conversation with, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get them on very soon.
Yeah.
Voting is still open in the Hero Dog Awards till September the 15th. Make sure
Right.
that everybody goes to AmericanHumane.org and votes. This is I mean, trying to tie them in together. Here's a perfect example. American Humane Hero Dog Awards highlights and recognizes the incredible work that people and dogs are doing.
Uh-huh.
There, you can't tell me that there's not a dog that might be in Rockcastle County that could, you get that dog out of that shelter and that dog could be doing some amazing things that could be Hero
Yeah.
Dog Award.
They've just given its chance.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're
So,
going to try to have as many of the finalists on once they're announced too. So
yeah,
that'll
that'll
be
be cool. And I think I
fun.
saw something that, so voting goes to September the 15th. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I read something that said they would announce the 5 finalists somewhere around the beginning of October
Okay.
3rd, 4th ish,
Somewhere in there.
something like that. So that'll be very cool.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that that we can get each one of those category finalists on.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure how they are going to notify the winners this year. What's going to be, or notify the public. I'm sure behind the scenes they notify them and let them know what's going on. But then, like to
Uh-huh.
notify the public, I don't know if it's a big reveal on television somewhere or what. But
Yeah, they've changed that every year just about, haven't they? So what is that?
yeah, I think it all comes down to, hey, where can we get? Like we want to get this out there to the
Mm-hmm.
biggest audience that we can.
We can, sure. Sure.
So yeah,
That's good.
so let's see. While we're sitting here, I'm looking down at these. I've made these very cool.
Yeah,
The round ones are Ethan magnets.
those are that is really cool. And you could remind them that there is a car show coming up where
Yes,
those will be there to purchase.
yes. There are several things coming up soon.
Yeah,
or
true.
in the next couple months that we'll be at to where you can get some things
Right.
to help. Here's some other.
Yeah.
At the Kentucky Prosecutors Conference,
Uh-huh.
I quickly made some of those, and we made people take a copy of the law, or they couldn't have a paw print.
Hey, we said we bribed, but that's okay. It was amazing though, just to watch Jeff sit there just creating his art. I'm sitting there doing well to keep up with what I'm doing, and he's doing everything plus creating art.
So we've got,
Trust,
there is a really
no,
cool event.
I had no impact or nothing to do with any of the artwork.
So we have a car show going on at the Sportsdrome on October the 19th. Is that right?
I was thinking the
Hold
12th.
on. Let's get it right.
Yeah.
18th or 19th?
Yeah.
Let me look. I'm going to
Because
look
you
at
got
the
Bark and Wine is the 12th.
Yeah, Bark and Why is October the 12th.
Yeah.
That's something that's this week. October the 19th it's Bob Hook Chevrolet Incorporated and the Sportsdrome Speedway present a car show benefiting Ethan Almighty's Blessings. Sunday, October 19th, 2025 at the Sportsdrome in Clarksville. There's a Bark and Wine on the river.
Yeah. Is that
And
Trimble? Is it Trimble?
Sunday, October the 12th, Richwood on the River from 2 to 6. Troublemakers Food Truck, Traditional Eats with Rebellious Steak. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff at the Bark and Wine.
Uh-huh.
A lot of fun stuff coming up. So
yeah. And the car show is, that sports dome is very accessible. It's very easy to get to. It's right off of 65. So if anybody
and all of that when we say benefits Ethan Almighty's Blessings, let me just say that all of that one of the things that has always been difficult for me is to ask people for money, and so I like to give people stuff back for the money. That's why we do these opportunities for people to get some Ethan artwork. That's why we like to provide a car show and the money comes in. That's why I like to do Ethan artwork and money comes in. I like to give people something back for the money, but that money goes to Ethan Almighty's Blessings. And every week we are approving, and Debbie, as someone on the board, you can attest, every week we are approving vet bills for people to get their animals taken care of every week. And, a very cool thing coming up, as a matter of fact, this Sunday is another spay neuter clinic in connection with Louisville Metro Animal Services and Louisville Metro Council. And so this Sunday we will do 30 dogs. We'll spay and neuter 30 dogs, which will I was actually someone was asking me earlier today about this, but that will put us at for dogs just sort of officially with this Louisville Metro Council program at 100 and let me see if I can get this right. 115 dogs. And then it appears, from what I was trying to go back through our records, all of the spay neuter that we have done, that's going to put us up at about 305 dogs.
That's incredible.
How cool is that?
It is wonderful. Yeah. And, every time we, okay or approve for an animal to get help, it's just so heartwarming. And we know, the money comes from everybody out there. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen. So just remember that every time you do buy something or purchase something or take a chance, that you're helping an animal somewhere, those vet bills come in and people can't afford them. Sometimes they would just have to euthanize or turn in that animal. So it's making a huge difference, Jeff.
Couldn't say it better myself. It's making a huge difference. And we're so grateful. All the support that we get. I mean, we can't, it takes money, and that's the bottom line, unfortunately.
It is. It is.
And we have to continue to ask people to be able to help, to be able to help animals. And that 305, like when I throw out that number, that 305, those are just animals that have gone through our spay neuter clinic.
Right.
It doesn't include the other animals to the side that on a one-on-one that we help out with vet bills.
And if you take those 300 animals and think if each one of them had one litter, or a lot of times more than one litter, then, you know, look how many animals there, you know, that are not out there, not getting the care and the love they need. So
Yeah, it's cool.
it really
I'm
is.
very appreciative, and I you know, I thanks to everyone.
Yeah.
Um, it's why I wanted to start the
The fact,
foundation to begin with, was to help people that were struggling with those kind of issues. I couldn't imagine being in that position where you're making a decision about, you know, this part of your family based upon finances.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
got to be a terrible thing to do.
Terrible, you know, terrible
Yeah.
decision to be
So
forced.
thank you to everybody. Please support. You know, we'll post about all of these things coming up. I know
Yeah.
we've got later this year we have another really cool trivia night coming up. We've got some
Yeah. That was
cool
a
things.
lot of fun.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
got some cool. We got some really cool things coming up. I remember at the last trivia, I was really good with the '80s, and in the '90s, I fell off the map.
I think I got the 60s, but they didn't bring those up very much.
So if we're gonna form a team, we need a '70s and a
We
'90s
one
person.
from each. Yeah, come on, somebody. You know, the
Brother,
Almighty Blessings team needs to win. So we need to cover every generation, every era.
this
Let's
is
do
true.
it. Yeah.
All right, so we'll end on this. Go to AmericanHumane.org. Vote for
Yeah.
the Hero Dog Awards. Vote once a day. You get 5 votes. You got one in each category from now till September the 15th. Um, Continue to follow the cases, all the cases, and yes, I will do my best to take this list that Debbie has done an amazing job of putting together. And try to get it on the EA Watchdogs page and get that all updated. But follow all that stuff. I'm not saying, when I say it's going to take the people of Rockcastle County to make a difference, I'm not saying that everyone else doesn't need to pay attention and
Mhm.
give input where that is due. We need people from all over the place to help with animals, to maybe make phone calls, to do this, but it's just going to take it. It didn't happen overnight. It's not going to get fixed overnight, and it could be a
Yeah.
much bigger
Um,
thing. So add a link to donate to the comments. Huh. That's a good idea. I can put
want
that.
to maybe a lot of people in Rockcastle can flood that shelter with volunteers that'll go in and you know, I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think that and to your point, a lot of times people have said, "Hey, as volunteers, we get turned down, we can't go in."
yeah.
I think that's going
Well,
to take that is going to take a big group of folks to go to uh,
uh-huh.
to to file
See,
into the judge executive's office,
exactly.
someone's
And say,
office, to say we want to come in and make a
yeah,
difference. Uh, every little step helps
it does.
in the fight to help
Uh-huh.
animals in Kentucky. Every little step helps, and it takes. You want to say it takes a village, but it takes it takes a
Takes more
whole
village
lot of
than
people. Yeah.
yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
uh,
Well, thank you, Debbie, and thank you for everybody for tuning in. Hopefully, this was people enjoyed it. It went 58 minutes, and I thought we'd go like maybe 28 minutes, but there's
oh
just a
well.
lot to get out, and there's so
Yeah,
much. There's
yeah.
just so much information out there, and we get like we have this. We compile this whole list of, you know, and we look at this whole list, and we've got so many of them have already been adjudicated. So many of them are still coming, and then we go to some place like this conference last week, and we
Oh yeah.
hear about
Yeah.
so many more that need to go on our list that aren't coming out,
Uh-huh.
and
Right.
so it becomes disheartening. But the only way to fix it is to keep at it.
Keep going. So if anybody you know, in another county, if you hear of anything, pass the names along. We'll check into it. So
That's all we can do is get the word out and make sure that it's very important that the people that live in the area that this is going on know about it.
it's
And if they can come to us and we can get it out, uh, then that's what we can do. And then we try to get to every case that we possibly can. And as disheartening as it is, sometimes we look at the calendar and there's 4 choices.
Yeah,
I mean, how
yeah.
bad is that when you say, okay, do we have any court? Debbie let me say this. I spoke
Oh,
very highly of Haley and all the work that she's doing. Debbie does a fantastic job of keeping track of all of these court cases, and we talk about them on a daily basis. And, I went to her quite a while back and I said, oh my gosh, I can't, like, there's so much going on. Would you be able to take this on? And she does a fantastic job. And I get these reports right here. And so I'll call you up and I'll say, all right, what do we got going on? And how disheartening is it on a day we've got, okay, we can choose between these 4 places to go.
yeah, and it's very sad. I mean, yeah, but it is what it is. So we just keep trudging along, but
Yeah.
the one in Boone County really gave us, a good, and it just made us feel good that we've gotten that big conviction. So, and I
Yeah.
really think David Howery is going to be another one that's going to go down as an important precedent too. So,
Yeah, there are some that every animal matters. There are some that are going
they
to
do.
be. There are some steps that are just slightly bigger than other steps.
Yeah.
Um, and we still want to have Stephanie Horseman on,
Right.
and it's really just trying to find the right time. And I need to get back with her about the right time. But that is a story that I think everybody would want to hear and
Yeah.
needs to hear. This David Howery thing that needs to be a big conviction. That could be another
Uh-huh.
bigger step, a little bit bigger step than some of these other ones. But
But we need the precedents, that we need them out there so those brand new prosecuting attorneys can find them, I
yeah,
guess.
as disappointing as, and circling all the way back to Amelia Gamez, as
Yeah.
disappointing as what the conditions of her plea agreement were, it was a
Mhm.
conviction. And
True.
we need to have those.
Right.
And so many times I like to think in terms of silver linings, and silver lining wise, you need to have the convictions. Best case scenario, she would spend time in prison. If you don't get that, next best case scenario, she's not around animals for 5 years. Okay, how do we fix that? We didn't get that either, but she did get convicted. She'll hopefully go on this list that she can't personally adopt any more dogs.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah. But it puts
So
Ethan's
and
law
and,
out.
and so Janine says, have you considered doing training so you can have volunteers attend the court dates you're not able to? No, and this is why. Right now, it's so Ethan's law has been in effect for slightly over a year.
For a year. Yeah.
The impact of what we're doing is having his face in the courtroom.
It is.
Until we start getting these convictions stacked up and these punishments stacked up, and you're able to call a case in far western Kentucky, and you can say, "Hey, Mr. County Attorney, there have been 3 cases like this throughout the state. One was this case in 2024. One was this in 2025. Here's one in 2026. Here's all the information you need to go." And they can base sort of what they're going to do, their plea agreement, or the way they're going to handle that case based off of those precedents. It really is his face in the courtroom,
It
because when
is.
you walk in with him, like even yesterday, you know,
Oh,
when that case was particularly adjudicated, the bailiff, the judge, they all acknowledged he
yes.
was in the courtroom,
They wanted a picture with
and
Ethan.
they know why he's there. So
Exactly.
I think we will get to the point where we can have and I love that idea, and I think we'll get to the point where we can have volunteers throughout the state
Mm-hmm.
that go to court cases representing Ethan Almighty,
Mm-hmm.
and we can reach out to the county attorney, the Commonwealth attorney, and say, Mary Smith will be attending this court case for this crappy defendant on this particular, and I think we'll get to that point. But it
Right.
could be a period of time down the road. We just got
Yeah.
to get these people convicted, and
Exactly.
and then some of the people that end up on deferment, um, I mean, I don't know another way to say it other than you hope they screw up on their probation and on their deferment and they end up in jail.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
And on that diversion in there back in. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's
And
going to have to be.
And Sue Ann makes a good point here. Is one of the things that we can do is hopefully help organize when elections are coming up. And for whether it's for county attorney, Commonwealth attorney, judge, executive, whoever it is in particular counties, and have some good information for the people of that particular area about, okay, this person was very good and prosecuted these 3 or 4 cases that came up, or they weren't good. Either way. And so,
good point.
Yeah.
Because
So,
usually, a lot of times people they vote straight tickets, and we've all done it. And we barely really know the people that are running for those offices. But like you were saying, now we're going to have some input that we can put out there for some of these judges and some of the Commonwealth attorneys, that these are the ones that are supporting Ethan's law. So that's
and
a great idea.
the question of how long do county attorneys stay in office, I'm not positive on that, but I do know that there are term limits. I think the only, I mean, someone will correct me, I'm sure. I think the only people that don't have term limits are like United States representatives and congressmen, the people that need to have term limits.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole nother show. It's a whole nother podcast.
All right. So thank you to everybody for all your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting not only us, but your local shelters and your local, the people that are doing the work. And we will check it. I hope everyone has, this is Labor Day weekend, right?
Yeah, it is.
Labor Day weekend. So I hope everyone has a great Labor Day weekend. Debbie, you're leaving town for a much deserved, much needed vacation. So I hope you have a wonderful time out of town.
Thank you. I'm sure I will. So thanks a lot. Everybody else have a great Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, everybody have a great day. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll talk to everybody.